courses. My professor back then claimed that motivation per se does not influence how well we learn information. It only helps us to sit down on our bottoms and to study. But is that really true? Or does simply being curious actually benefit learning? To test what a curious state does to learning, we added a little tweak to our experiment. In the learning phase, when participants were waiting to see the answer to a question, we showed them a random picture of a neutral face. Later on, during the memory test, we also tested their memory for these unrelated faces. As expected, when people were highly curious to find out an answer to a question, they were better at recalling the answer to that question. However, the surprising finding was to us that also the faces, once curiosity was aroused, the faces were also better remembered, that were completely unrelated to the trivia. Again, even the information that was unrelated to what people were curious about was better remembered. Also, when we tested people's memory performance 24 hours later, people still remembered faces better that were seen during a high curiosity state than faces that were seen when they weren't curious. This suggests that curiosity puts the brain in a state that is generally conducive to learning any information. So you could think of curiosity as a vortex that draws in what you're motivated to learn and interested to learn, but it also sucks in a lot of other things around it. So why does curiosity benefit learning any information? Our brain imaging findings gave us an answer to that question. Let's take a closer look at two brain areas involved in curiosity and memory. The hippocampus, a critical region in the brain's memory system that is especially important for forming new memories. And the midbrain, an important structure in the brain's wanting system that we've talked about earlier. We found that when curiosity enhanced learning, there was increased activity in both the midbrain and the hippocampus. In addition, curiosity also enhanced communication between both areas. Before, I showed you that curiosity actually recruits the wanting system by itself. Here I've now shown you that curiosity also benefits and drives interactions between the midbrain and the hippocampus. So it almost seems like that the brain's wanting system is warming up the hippocampus to get ready for the learning of upcoming information, regardless of whether this is the information that got you curious in the first place or not. The most apparent implications of our findings are, of course, for education. Think again of the vortex that curiosity creates. If you study a specific subject, like the child here who studies the flower, the curiosity vortex not only helps you to learn the information that you're interested about, but it also helps you to learn a lot of other information around it. So when teachers have to convey material that is not of general interest to students, learning could potentially be accelerated if a teacher harnesses the power of a student's curiosity about something that they're naturally motivated to learn. Hopefully, our research inspires more teachers to stimulate curiosity ahead of learning, something many passionate educators have been doing already. Our brain just works better on curiosity. Our findings may apply to any kind of context in which you need to convey information to a person. If you spark a person's curiosity first, this person actually wants to receive the information and is then more likely to retain the information and potentially anything else you want to say to them. So, if you are now still dying to know where on earth it is, where trees have square trunks, let me finally satisfy your curiosity. Trees that have square trunks grow in the Antun's Valley in Panama. If you are really curious about this question throughout this talk, you are now more likely to remember that those trees grow in the Antun's Valley in Panama, but hopefully you are also now more likely to remember other information better from this talk. If you ever visit the Antun's Valley in Panama, please send me a postcard from there, because I'd love to know how square those trees really are, and whether you can still remember from this talk why curiosity is so important. Curiosity energizes us via the brain's wanting system so that we go out and seek new information. And curiosity helps us to make our memories stick. Thank you.